Every few months, one of them drops something that makes everyone go, wait, they're winning now? And the internet loses its mind. OpenAI releases GPT-4, Google fires back with Gemini, then OpenAI drops something new and suddenly Google's scrambling. It's like watching the world's most important tennis match, except the ball is artificial general intelligence, and the stakes are basically everything. So what's actually happening here, and why can't one company just stay on top? Let me break this down because it's way more interesting than just tech companies are competitive. There's real strategy, real limitations, and real reasons why this crown keeps changing hands. First, let's talk about what winning even means in AI right now. It's not like smartphones where you can just look at sales numbers and declare a winner. With AI, winning is fuzzy. It's about who releases the most capable model, who gets the most users, who has the best safety practices, who's making the most money, and who's advancing the field fastest. Sometimes those things point in different directions, which is why the lead keeps shifting. OpenAI started out looking like the clear winner. ChatGPT launched in November 2022 and absolutely shocked the world. It was the fastest-growing app ever. People were obsessed. OpenAI looked like they'd figured out something everyone else missed. They had the best large language model, the most hype, and the most users. For a solid year, it felt like they were untouchable. But here's the thing about being first with something this big. Everyone else gets to learn from you. Google had been working on large language models for years. They had Bard, which honestly wasn't great at first. But they also had Gemini in development, and when they finally released it, a lot of people thought it was actually better at certain things than GPT-4. Suddenly Google looked like they were catching up, maybe even passing. Then OpenAI released GPT-4 Turbo and later GPT-4o, which was faster and cheaper and worked with images and audio in ways that felt more integrated. The crown swung back. But Google didn't sit still either. They released their own multimodal improvements, better integration with their ecosystem of products, and kept pushing on reasoning capabilities. So why does this keep happening? Why can't one company just dominate? The first reason is that AI is still moving incredibly fast. We're not in a mature market where one company has locked down the technology. We're in a moment where breakthroughs still happen, and they can come from anywhere. Neither OpenAI nor Google has figured out the ultimate formula yet. There's still a ton of room for innovation, and both companies are throwing enormous resources at the problem. The second reason is that they're optimizing for different things. OpenAI built a consumer-first product. They focused on making something people would actually use and love. ChatGPT is accessible, it's easy, and it became a cultural phenomenon. That consumer focus gave them momentum and data and mindshare. But Google has a different advantage. They have search, they have Android, they have Gmail, they have YouTube. They have billions of users already. So their strategy is different. They're not necessarily trying to beat OpenAI at consumer adoption. They're trying to integrate AI into all the products people already use every day. That's actually a huge advantage that sometimes gets overlooked. If you're already using Gmail and Google Search and Google Docs, and AI gets baked into all of those, then you're using Google's AI whether you're thinking about it or not. OpenAI has to fight for every user. Google's users come for email and stay for AI. The third reason is that different models are better at different things. GPT-4 might be better at writing and reasoning. Gemini might be better at understanding images or code. Claude from Anthropic might be better at following instructions. There's no one winner because there's no one thing these models are optimized for. They're all trading off speed, accuracy, cost, and capability in different ways. The fourth reason is money and access. OpenAI has been more aggressive about getting their models into people's hands. They made the API accessible, they built partnerships, they kept releasing to the public. Google, being a massive company with existing revenue streams, has been slower to fully commit. That's changing now, but for a while it meant OpenAI seemed more dominant just because more people were actually using them. So what changes next? Where's this going? I think we're going to see the crown stop mattering as much. Right now we're in this phase where everyone's obsessed with which model is best. But that's because we're still in the early adopter stage. As AI becomes more embedded in products and services, people won't care which company's model is technically superior. They'll just care that it works. What will actually matter is ecosystem and integration. Google's going to win a lot of battles just because they can put AI into search and Gmail and Docs. OpenAI is going to win a lot of battles because they've built a platform and a community and a brand. Anthropic might win with enterprises that care about safety. Microsoft's going to win because they have Office and Azure. There won't be one king. There'll be regional kings. We're also going to see the competition shift from just model capability to infrastructure and efficiency. Right now, big models are expensive to run. The company that figures out how to make them cheaper and faster will have a huge advantage. Both OpenAI and Google are working on this, but it's not flashy, so it doesn't make headlines. And then there's the wild card of open source. Meta released Llama, and it's actually really good. There are all these smaller open models that are getting better and better. The closed model companies are going to have to compete with a future where a lot of people can just run AI locally or on cheap infrastructure. That changes the game entirely. Here's what I think is actually happening beneath all the headlines. We're watching two very different strategies play out, and we won't know which one was right for another few years. OpenAI is betting on being the best and the most user-friendly and building a platform. Google is betting on owning the infrastructure and integrating AI into everything they already own. They're not really competing in the same space, even though it looks like they are. The crown keeps trading hands because they're measuring success differently. OpenAI looks at user adoption and capability benchmarks. Google looks at integration and reach. Both are winning by their own metrics. So the real answer to who's winning is, it depends what you care about. If you want the most advanced chatbot right now, OpenAI's probably got it. If you want AI integrated into your daily life, Google's probably going to get there first. If you want open source and transparency, you might be looking at Meta or the independent researchers. And if you want safety and thoughtfulness, Anthropic's making a case. The AI crown isn't going to have a permanent winner because AI itself is becoming too important and too distributed for any one company to own it all. We're moving from a world where one company dominates a technology to a world where multiple companies dominate different parts of it. And honestly, that's probably better for everyone. If you found this breakdown helpful, you know what would mean a lot? Hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down AI and tech in ways that actually make sense, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for watching.